Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Starshima Wynn, and today I will be talking to you guys about the modern approaches to understanding drug addiction. And I will be focusing on nicotine in particular for an example. So, before we get started, I just want to inform you guys on what addiction actually is. According to our book for this semester, addiction is a complex process that involves three distinct stages, one being the initial drug taking phase, two, the habitual drug taking phase, and three, the drug craving phases with repeated relapse. Okay, so we're going to actually go ahead and get into this short presentation video and see how they manifest in behaviors using nicotine as our example. So I'll be using the 11th edition of biopsychology as a reference point to actually back up any facts that I mentioned throughout the video. So, according to authors John Pino and Steve Barnes, the first stage is the initial drug taking stage, which is characterized by the first experience with the drug. Okay, so for nicotine, this could be the first cigarette a person tries, which is often influenced by peer pressure, curiosity, or just someone in the vicinity that actually use it. In this stage, the brain the brain reward system is activated in this phase. Okay, so nicotine binds to the receptors in the brain, causing a release of dopamine, which creates a pleasurable sensation. And this initial experience can be quite memorable and may encourage further experimentation. An example of this would be so imagine a teenager at a party who tries a cigarette for the first time, right? The social setting combined with the novel experiences might make the act seem more enjoyable to the person, right? So the brain, now flooded with this dopamine, reinforces this behavior as something positive that is being done, right? So the second phase would be the initial drug taking phase. Okay, so in this phase, the behavior becomes more of a routine, right? With the nicotine, this could actually means like transitioning from an occasional smoker to someone who utilizes this on a daily. And at this point, the brain begins to now adapt to the presence of the nicotine, and tolerance is developed. Okay, so this means that the individual needs more nicotine to achieve the same pleasurable effects that they were having in stage one. Okay, and an example of this would be now our teenager starts to smoke on the regular. Okay, perhaps to just start their day, relieve stress, or perhaps just to do it. And over the time, what begins to actually take place is that this occasional indulgence becomes something that is done on a daily. So now the brain's reward system is regularly stimulated by nicotine, making it harder to break the cycle that the teenager has picked up on. The final stage is the drug craving and repeated relapse. Okay, so this is where the individual actually experiences intense cravings for the nicotine and may develop a struggle with relapse despite any attempts that they may have to quit. Okay, so at this point in the phases, the brain's reward system actually becomes so dependent on the nicotine that without it, the teenager feels a significant lack of pleasure, and withdrawal symptoms such as like irritability and anxiety can make it extremely difficult at this point. Okay, so an example for this phase would be after several attempts of quitting smoking, the teen might experience an overwhelming craving and return to smoking after a stressful event. Okay, so the brain's intense need for nicotine can now override rational thoughts about the health consequences that come with the using of nicotine. Okay, and throughout these stages, the brain actually is undergoing significant changes, right? Initially, dopamine releases creates pleasure. Okay. And as the habit forms, the brain actually will begin to adapt to the presence of the nicotine, leading to a higher tolerance in the individual that is using smoking. And finally, the brain reward system becomes so dependent on nicotine that it begins to challenge, it begins challenging uh to function. It becomes, excuse me, challenging for someone to like function without it, and this can lead to like cravings and a relapse, right? So understanding these stages is a crucial, very crucial development that is effective to help individuals. It becomes very effective when trying or attempting to develop an individual an intervention to help these individuals overcome their addictions. So by recognizing the actual behavior and neurological patterns that comes with the use of an nicotine as an addiction, we can better support these struggles by or excuse me with substance abuse. Okay. So, I really, really appreciate you guys for taking the time out to view my video. I hope it was helpful to you guys in some kind of a way. I know myself, I've actually had a past history of using nicotine, and I have hit the 1, 2, and 3 phases in my life. And I wouldn't say that I'm struggling with the use because I really do not. Every now and then I may decide to, have a cigarette, but I'm down way, way, way down from more than one because back in the past, I usually would use about a whole pack in a day, so I would be buying maybe like 5 packs a week. And that is horrible. Okay. And that's just me personally. I'm not saying that everyone actually goes through this, but this is just me personally speaking from my past experiences. And it was definitely um a struggle for me to actually put this addiction down. So kudos to all of you who have experienced and been able to actually let go this habit and just keep on, looking ahead. And I give you all guys, and I give all of you guys credit for being able to do so. So, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time again to watching my video. I hope it was be able to help you guys in some sort of a way. Thank you, and see you next time.